G'day, sharpening photography here, and today we're going to look at editing a picture of an F-35 that was taken on a very overcast day. Just see how we can bring out some of the features from the very dark aircraft that we've got from our raw file. We'll get right into that straight after this intro. Okay, so we've taken a picture of an F-35. It was a very overcast day, so the actual aircraft itself is quite dark. The background, the sky, obviously quite dark as well because it was overcast. So just going to show you how I bring out the details of this and create quite a moody sort of a picture as a result. So first thing I'm going to do is going to put a crop on it. I've got too much negative space there, so I want to put a crop on it. There we go, we're getting a bit closer to the actual aircraft now, while still giving it some space to fly into, which is important. First thing I want to do is to put a mask on the actual aircraft itself. So going to go to mask, hit subject, and you can see it's selected that F-35. It's done a pretty good job. We're just going to zoom in just to make sure that there's no bits that we need to just fix up before getting into making some changes. Alright, looks like it's done a good job. We'll just get rid of this little bit here where it's still showing a bit of red. It's quite common for it to happen in these little sections here. In fact, if it's going to be a little bit out, it's usually in those little V type sections, I find. I've got these quite bright lines here as well, so I want to actually just take those out of this mask that I'm going to be doing. So just selecting objects here and just going over the bits that I want to exclude from this mask. There is a reason why I'm actually excluding these little bright lines, and that's because I'm going to lighten this plane quite a bit, and if I don't just subtract these quite bright lines, they'll get even brighter. So that's the reason why we're doing this. Okay, getting pretty close to being done. Just get rid of this last one here. Alright, get rid of this one just here. Okay, I think we're ready to go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have to brighten this. It's quite dark. If I take off the overlay, you can see just how dark it is there. There's not a lot of features that you can really see, so we're about to do something about that. So we're just going to bring the exposure up a bit, and you can see that there is actually quite a bit of detail in this photo. And we're just going to bring that out. A bit of contrast, bring the shadows up a little bit just to bring out more of that detail, It's getting a bit bright here, so I want to just take away some of the highlights, and I'll just play with the whites and the blacks until I find something that I'm quite happy with. And if we go in nice and close, you can see there's quite a bit of detail that we couldn't see previously. If we take it back to how it was originally, you can see there's a whole range of things that we can see. We can see the kangaroo, we can see the actual number of the plane on both sides, quite a bit more detail on this underside of the aircraft. So that's what we're looking to do, just looking to bring that out. You can even see the names that are written here. Can't see them there before we did that little bit of a tweak, so that was the reason for doing that, just to bring out some detail. We go back now. So we brought the detail out in the plane. What we need to do now is we need to create that that mood that I was talking about, that sort of darker mood, and bring out some of the detail in the overcast sky, because there'll be some detail there from the clouds. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate and invert that mask. So you're going to take it away from the actual aircraft itself now that we're going to be working on, and just working on the sky itself. Okay, you can see that we've got the sections that we took out previously because we didn't want it to be too bright. So we'll see how we go leaving those in. If we need to, we can always go back and just remove those as well. So I'm talking about, in this case, these areas are here that we didn't want to be too bright, so we took out of the last mask. Alright, so let's just bring the exposure down a little bit. Contrast is going to go up. I'm going to come into dehaze, and as you can see, dehaze is going to start to bring in just some of that cloud detail that we've got. A little bit of clarity on that as well, and let's take some of the texture down. Just make sure that I'm happy with that in those areas that we masked off. I think it's done okay there. I'm okay with how that's looking. So now it's just a matter of just playing with the sliders for the highlights, seeing if we can get that sort of dramatic effect we're looking for. Don't want it to go too dark though. Don't want it to look too unrealistic, so just brighten it a little bit. Don't really want to touch the colours here. This is a colour photo, it's not black and white, but we're going to have a little bit of a look of black and white because of the fact that the aircraft is obviously grey and overcast day, so clouds are also grey, so it's going to be almost a black and white picture without actually having shot a black and white picture. So thinking that's looking pretty good. Fairly happy with how that's looking, so what we'll do now is we'll get rid of the mask and we'll work on the picture globally. Actually, before we do that, I'll just put one more thing in, and that will be a new layer mask, and I'm going to do a linear gradient here, and I'm going to have that come from the top down. I'm just going to make the top dark. And I'll intersect that mask so that it's not going to affect the aircraft. And then we'll just bring and exposure down a little bit, see how that works. If it doesn't work, we can always get rid of this. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to have the effect I want, so I might not use this. We'll just see. I think we're starting to make it look a bit unrealistic. You know, you have a go, you see what works. If it doesn't work, pretty simple, just get rid of it. Alright, so might just leave it as it was then. Back into basic, and then just see if we can get this to a point where we're happy. Now I'll just go into the color grading and work on the midtones first. Don't mind it there. A little bit of work on the shadows, and then any highlights. So I want to actually just bring those highlights down a little bit. Then we can work on the detail, and I want to do some sharpening on the aircraft itself and nothing else. So just use that masking slider here, and to show what I'm going to actually be sharpening, I'm holding the Option key down on my Mac. Not 100% sure what it is on the Windows, but it's probably Alt or Option or something like that you would hold down, and you can see what's white is what's going to actually be sharpened. So none of the sky is going to be sharpened. A lot of the plane is not going to be sharpened. It's more the edges and the writing that I'm looking to sharpen here. I'll just bring that up a little bit, and then what I like to do is I just like to denoise. Now after denoising, you may need to just go in, and this will go yellow. It'll tell you that there's something that needs to be done, so it needs to have something done to the masking, so I'll just update that. 9 out of 10 times it doesn't really change a lot. Every now and then it will do something a little bit silly, and I'll just undo that. But for the moment I'm just going to add in whatever that does. And then just move into saturation of the various colors and just see if moving them around improves it or not. I think I like it a little bit up in saturation there on the green primary, and a little bit on the blue. I think that looks pretty good, and you can see we now have quite a bit of detail in our jet, and also the sky. So if we look at before and after, obviously you can't see any of the writing here. We can now see that. You can't see any of the, well, you can see a little bit of the detail, but nowhere near the detail we're getting now. Could only just read the writing there. You can read it quite easily now. On the other side you can see the number again, and as I said before, you know, we can see the kangaroo. So we've brought out quite a bit of detail there. So happy with that. My other process is to then go and put that into Photoshop. I can put my logo onto it, and I'll also save it in a couple of variations of JPEG. So let's do that. I'm just going to go Shift Command E on my Mac, and I'm just going to export that. I'm just going to change the text here because I've already done this photo once before and I don't want to override it or things get messy, so I'm just going to make a little change to the name. Going to export. That will open Photoshop for me. And once Photoshop is open, I can make the final little adjustments that I make on my pictures, which is literally just to put my logo on. I don't actually do any real editing in Photoshop itself. So I'll just grab my logo, bring it in, stick it down the bottom, and that's it. Hit save. I'll just make the PSD in case I want to come in and make any changes. There might be some things that I might want to just fix up a little bit when I look at it really closely. And then once I've done that, I will just save the various JPEGs. So I always do a low resolution one, just if I want to have to send that to somebody, I can quite easily via email, whatever. Won't take up too much space. You can see it's only 261.5 kilobytes. And then I'll also make a JPEG, which is a larger file, and I'll make that as large as possible. That way I've got a high resolution version as well that I can use on my website, upload to Facebook, those sorts of things. So that is how I edit photos. That's my process. I pretty much do that for all my photos. I don't necessarily edit them all like that one just there. Done that in a specific way because of the lighting conditions at the time, so that will determine exactly how I'll do that edit. Anyway, if you like what you see, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button so you get notified every time I do a video, and I'll see you in the next one.